What if I told you that a simple children's story could actually hold the key to understanding a huge, fundamental scientific process? Well, in this explainer, we're going to see exactly that. How the story of one sad little cloud brilliantly unpacks the science of the water cycle.
So it all starts with this question. A young girl named Tia asks it when she hears this tiny voice calling for help from way up in the sky. And right away, this line just pulls you into a world where nature can actually talk. And, turns out, it has a problem that it needs our help to solve.
The story kicks off on a warm afternoon. Two friends, Tia and Tofu, are just hanging out, gazing up at the sky. And to them, the clouds look like floating cotton candy or maybe a flying pillow. It's this really whimsical, kind of magical way of seeing the world. But one of those clouds is having a really, really bad day.
Okay, so let's meet our hero. This is Cloudy. He's the new kid at Sky School, and he's dealing with a bit of a crisis. He honestly feels like a total failure because he can't do the one thing that every single cloud is supposed to be able to do.
And there it is, Cloudy's problem, laid out plain and simple. It's a feeling a lot of us can probably relate to, right? That pressure to do what everyone else seems to be doing so easily. For Cloudy, this isn't just about trying to fit in, it's about his whole reason for being.
So just when Cloudy is about to give up all hope, he finds a helper in the most unlikely of places. After hearing his story, Tia immediately puts on her science explorer hat. You see, she doesn't just see a magical talking cloud, she sees a scientific problem that needs a solution.
And this is where Tia's approach totally shifts the story. It goes from being about a magical problem to a scientific one. She figures out that to really help Cloudy, she needs to teach him the mechanics of being a cloud. And just like that, this charming little tale turns into a brilliant science lesson.
So Tia lays it all out for him. And her lesson? It isn't complicated or full of a bunch of confusing jargon. Nope, it's a simple, super clear, three-step guide that explains the entire process, from a puddle all the way to precipitation.
So, at the very heart of Tia's lesson is the water cycle, and she breaks it down into three core concepts: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. This is the constant process that shapes our entire world, and Tia is going to explain it step by step.
First up, we've got evaporation. Tia explains that when the sun warms up water in lakes and rivers, that water turns into this invisible gas called vapor, and it rises up. And she uses this perfect little analogy. It's like the water just magically disappears right into the air.
And this is where the science connects directly to our hero. Tia explains that all that rising vapor gathers together to form clouds. She actually tells Cloudy, that's how you were born. You were lake water once. And boom, all of a sudden, Cloudy's entire existence is explained by science. How cool is that?
And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. Tia explains that when a cloud like Cloudy gathers way too much water vapor, it gets heavy, just too full to hold it all. And that release of water is precipitation, which she so beautifully describes as crying big splashy tears called rain.
You can almost see the light bulb go off over Cloudy's head. He realizes, wait, maybe I just haven't gathered enough water yet. So with this brand new knowledge, it's time to put the theory into practice. But the big question is, can he actually use this science to finally make it rain?
Well, the timing is absolutely perfect. The sun comes out from behind another cloud and it shines right on a nearby pond. Just like Tia described, the water starts to warm up and then little sparkles of water. That's the vapor. They start to rise from the pond and head straight for Cloudy.
And as all that water vapor joins him, Cloudy feels a change. He's getting bigger, heavier, fuller. This is it. The condensation process is complete. He's finally collected enough water droplets. He's ready. And then it happens. Cloudy lets go, and tiny little drops of rain start to fall from him. He's finally crying, but they're happy rain tears. He did it. The science actually worked, and our little cloud has finally fulfilled his purpose.
Now, Cloudy's success isn't just a happy ending to a cute story. It's a really powerful demonstration of how understanding the why behind something can empower us to actually make it happen. It's a huge lesson for Cloudy and really for all of us.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the central theme, right? The world can be seen in two ways. What at first looked like floating cotton candy is actually a collection of tiny water droplets. What seemed like a cloud's happy tears is actually precipitation. The whole story of a talking cloud becomes a perfect working model of the water cycle.
And this all leads to the story's really powerful final lesson.
The things that seem the most magical often have a scientific explanation that's frankly even more awe-inspiring. It's not a trick. It's a fundamental process that supports all life here on Earth.
So this leaves us with a final question to chew on. Our world is just filled with things that seem magical, right? From the colors of a sunset to a plant growing towards the sun. The story really encourages us to put on our own science explorer hats and ask ourselves, what's the science behind the magic we see every single day?